Mario Kart World is coming to a Switch 2 near you in only 2 months. It still feels unbelievable. It is without a doubt the showcase piece for the new console, meaning that footage of it was not just contained to a very meaty trailer, but also spread all throughout the hour-long Nintendo Direct. So in order to help you make sense of it all, I'm gonna take you past a whole lot of hidden details about Mario Kart World spread all throughout the Switch 2 Direct and even the website. Let's start with something that surely hasn't escaped your attention: the roster. It's looking like an absolutely insane collection of characters are coming together for this game, including a whole bunch of faces who are playable for the first time, most of which don't even have hands to hold the steering wheel with, but who cares? I was able to count a total of 51 characters, and for all we know, even more are coming with the Mario Kart World Direct scheduled for later this month. Currently, the roster stands at Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Bowser, Wario, Waluigi, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Toad, Rosalina, Bowser Jr., Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Baby Rosalina, Pauline, Koopa Troopa, Toadette, Lakitu, King Boo, Shy Guy, Birdo, Drybones, Wiggler, and then coming to main consoles from Mario Kart Tour, Hammer Bro, Chargin' Chuck, King Bob-omb, Nabbit, and Monimo, and then another big group of complete newcomers, which includes Goomba, Piranha Plant, Moo Moo, Peepa, Swoop, Pianta, Spike, Pokey, Bitty Bud, or Para Bitty Bud if you want to get technical, Sidestepper, Penguin, only brilliant minds saw him coming, Snowman, Cataquack, Fishbone, Dolphin, Stingbee, Coin Coffer, Cheep Cheep, Conkdor, and possibly Rocky Wrench as well. This could potentially be an outfit for Monimo. It's easily the craziest character roster for a Mario game we have ever seen, and among the largest base rosters as well. One shot, later in the Direct, shows the character select screen actually, but I'm taking this image with a very large pinch of salt. I mean, do the math, there are 12 characters on this screen, and apparently 4 screens, judging from the dots at the bottom, which would mean 48 characters. But we have already seen more than that, so something doesn't add up. Maybe it isn't 12 characters per screen, or the dots don't correspond to character screen at all, but are instead for phases of setting up. So picking your character is the first, then there's the car setup, control setup, and whatever else is possible. Maybe they're unlockable, who knows? Either way, I don't believe the game will have 48 characters, I'm convinced there will be more. That conclusion that some seem to draw is inaccurate. It could also possibly be a roster for a potential demo for those Nintendo Switch 2 events. After all, no DK, no Daisy, no Rosalina on the first page would be a very surprising decision. Also, did you notice there's a sort option here? Seems like we might be able to sort the roster based on characters we use much, for example, which would be quite interesting. What is also quite interesting character-wise is the characters we don't see. Even with a roster this large, with so many random inclusions, several Mario Kart 8 racers have not been spotted yet. Probably the biggest omissions are the Kongs, Diddy and Funky. Personally, I suspect this is related to DK's design change. After all, having his design altered while Diddy and Funky still look the same would be very weird. But at the same time, if they do get redesigns, then I think showing that in a trailer for Donkey Kong Bonanza would make more sense. So yeah, I suspect they're stuck in limbo a little. If they're not getting redesigned, I don't think they'll make the cut. If they are, we'll first see them in a Bonanza trailer and then in Mario Kart. If they're only in Bonanza the game, but not the trailers, we could potentially see them in the future as DLC, but then I don't think they'll be in the base game. Also still missing are the Koopalings, and that is interesting because billboards with their faces and names appeared in the original trailer. Now, it's not impossible at all that the billboards are there, but the characters aren't. That wouldn't be unheard of. Mario Kart 8 has the Paratroopa Airlines for a simple example. At the same time, I don't really see a reason why they would be cut, so it could simply be possible we'll see them later down the line. The same goes for Petey Piranha. Also not here are the crossover characters, and I think it will stay that way personally. This doesn't feel like a game to bring back those other Nintendo characters like Villager, Inkling and Link. The focus is way too heavy on the Mario universe, they'd feel out of place here. Never say never to DLC, but let's get the base game in our hands first before we start to worry about that. Mii's also haven't been spotted, and whether it will remain that way will remain to be seen. It's basically 50-50, I'd say. Switch 2 isn't ditching Mii's, but they're also hardly a big focus, so who knows. Oh, and while we're on the topic of characters, Sledge Bros make their Mario Kart debut, but as an audience member instead. Alright, let's switch our focus to the true nitty-gritty of any Mario Kart game, the courses. I'm not gonna repeat what the trailer already told you. It's obvious these courses are much larger and there is more of an open world aspect to the game, which is completely new. Based on that new track design style, you might think it would prevent courses from past games from returning, but that actually isn't true at all. In fact, the Flower Cup is completely a retro cup, with Desert Hills and Airship Fortress coming from DS, Shy Guy Bazaar from 7 and Wario Stadium from 64. That is, however, no longer specified in their titles, which is probably to indicate these aren't one-to-one recreations. They're inspired by the past courses and feature design elements from them, but they're also so different that they can't be considered the same track. In a similar vein, the idea of dedicated retro cups is also abolished, as the Star Cup has 3 retro-based tracks, DK Pass from DS, Sky High Sundae from 8 or Tour, and Wario Shipyard from 7, while Starview Peak is a completely original course. Other courses that will return are Wii's Moo Moo Meadows, now with Giant Moo Moo Statue and Toad's Factory, 64's Koopa Troopa Beach, Double Dash's Peach Beach, as well as Mario Circuit 1, 2 and 3 from the SNES, packed into one new track called Super Mario Circuit. Double Dash's Dino Dino Jungle also appears to return, and this one really showcases how much courses can change. During the game chat segment of the Direct, we can see some more of this track, and you'll soon realize it looks nothing like it did before. It's barely even a jungle anymore, it appears more Jurassic Park themed, amplified by the text reading Dino Dino Laboratory up there. The world map also seems to feature courses based on the themes of Ghost Valley and Choco Island, but those aren't seen in-game, so perhaps we'll see those at a later time. And wait, that circle? Is that Big Donut? The battle course from Mario Kart 64? We have seen or heard nothing about battle mode yet, but could this be confirmation it's in the game? It's hard to say, it could also just be a part of another course. It's not like it's that big after all, so I want to hold off on calling battle mode a confirmed inclusion, but it's at least a solid hint. A course that isn't shown yet is Rainbow Road, which is definitely noteworthy, because for the first time I can't say with 100% certainty that this track will make it in. After all, it doesn't really belong on this Mario Kart World, it's more above it, and its focus on being able to fall off the course might conflict heavily with the more open world track design. So yeah, it's definitely not a given that Rainbow Road will be here, I think. We'll just have to wait and see. But let's not dwell on what isn't here and look at what is, which is a good amount of new courses. We see a total of 7 cups available in Grand Prix here, which times 4 would mean 28 playable courses. However, when the trailer later details the Knockout Door segment, we see another set of courses, so perhaps the different modes will have different tracks, or maybe this is just a second screen of cups, who knows. Either way, we do know there is overlap between them, because Crown City appears with nearly identical images in the Grand Prix Mushroom Cup and Knockout Door's Ice Flower Cup, albeit at different times of the day. And to make matters even more confusing, a night version of Crown City is included in the Grand Prix Shell Cup as well, so it's a bit unclear to what extent these courses are actually the same layout-wise. We do know both weather effects and a day and night cycle will appear in the game, but to what extent is still a mystery. We see King Boo driving through rain when the voiceover mentions it, but no very obvious effect can be observed yet. Or is it maybe a little slippery? It's hard to say from this brief footage. Other new courses for this game include Mario Bros. Circuit, which appears to be the course featuring the constantly repeated Yoshi Diner segment, Whistle Stop Summit, DK Spaceport, which is based on arcade Donkey Kong, the aforementioned Starview Peak, Faraway Oasis, which is the Savannah themed map, and Peach Stadium, which is the course you see at the end with the theming of Princess Peach's castle. Another course that I really want to highlight is this track at Open Sea that is visible during the more detailed segment on the Switch 2 hardware. It doesn't correspond to any of the courses we have seen in the Grand Prix, but it looks very cool. It also gives us a great new look at the new mini-map, which is now 3D when playing a single player. When playing split screen, it is still 2D, as seen not too long after. Let's take a look at the selection of items next, because we already have a pretty good idea of what our item boxes may reward us with. Let's start with the classics. Bananas, green shells, red shells, mushrooms are also all available in triple variants. Coins, the bullet bills, stars, fire flowers, lightning bolts, spiny or blue shells, boosts, bombs, bloopers, boomerang flowers are all back, and returning from 8, the super horn is as well. The cape feather is now also available in races instead of only battle modes, and returning from Thor are the ice flower, mega mushroom, hammer and coin box. An advertisement for the golden dash mushroom is also seen, but the item itself has yet to be spotted. One item is completely new, and it's this weird purple orb thing, which is undoubtedly linked to Kamek or a Magikoopa, who can be seen hovering around the car for one moment. What this item does though, no clue. Maybe it switches the player's position up? Would be very annoying, but also classic Mario Kart levels of chaos. Also interesting to point out is that it seems items are now permanently behind your vehicle, as we see items that previously couldn't do it and really have no use doing it, like coins and bullet bills hanging behind carts in the trailer. This is probably done so you can strategize based on the items your competition has. Another notorious new item revealed is the big hamburger, which then gives Mario an outfit, and this is the one thing about the trailer that really keeps my brain guessing. The outfits. This outfit changing burger. Will it appear in every map? Or is it thematically linked to Yoshi's Diner? That would make more sense after all, it's a drive-through meal you quickly pick up. Getting a hamburger at Moo Moo Meadows would have completely different connotations, get what I mean? In the immediate next shot, we see Luigi changing into a farmer's outfit at Moo Moo Meadows. So, is the outfit you can obtain linked to the course you're driving on? If you look more and more around the trailer, it does appear to be that way. Every single outfit we see appears to align at least somewhat with the themes of the course. We never see Biker Wario on a beach or Beach Daisy in the snow. We also see later in the trailer that tricks you perform off ramps are also tied to courses, because there's no way Mario does this karate move at every single course. I don't believe that for 1 second. So if tricks can be tied to courses, why not outfits? But at the same time, this shot showing the start of a race has the characters already wearing outfits from the beginning. How is that possible if you must obtain the item in-game? Can we also choose them from the character select menu? If so, what is the point of the burger? Also noteworthy is that Mario is wearing the same outfit the burger gives him on this same map. So are outfits truly linked to the map? Well, it does appear that way, but far later in the direct we see Mario at the diner wearing his Mario Sunshine look, so it can't all work like that. Is it maybe the case that you unlock outfits by obtaining them through the courses, via exploration, and can then use them from the start in the menu after you've unlocked them? Would be very cool, and it would explain the discrepancies as well, but at the same time introducing an entire item mechanic just for that also feels unnecessary. Or maybe you retain outfits you've obtained in previous courses, meaning Mario may have obtained that Sunshine look in a course prior to playing Mario Bros. Circuit with the Yoshi Diner. So point being, I don't know. There is a lot of conflicting information about it out there, and nothing seems to align in a simple and straightforward way, so if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments below. I'll pin the one I like best. And speaking of that shot starting a race, why are we already driving before the race starts? Is this how the Knockout Tour mode races will begin? This shot is from before Knockout Tour is introduced in the trailer, but we later see during the game chat segment that traditional Grand Prix starts also still exist, so it's hard to say for certain how this will work in practice. When looking at the vehicles in this game, it quickly becomes clear that vehicle customization is 100% back. We see several shots of certain car bodies with different wheels and the like, so that is definitely returning. New is the option to transform into boats, airplanes and snow scooters, and who knows what other kinds of transformations we'll see. And as if that wasn't Sonic coded enough for you, grinding also makes its introduction, and it can even be done with cars, hilariously enough. We can also now ride on walls without anti-gravity gear, which appears to have been cut following Mario Kart 8's heavy focus on it. And while we're on the topic of vehicles, we have to acknowledge that one scene of Birdo riding into this large truck and seemingly driving away with it. Whether this is essentially a multi-person bullet bill that drives automatically, or whether we can steer it ourselves is impossible to say, but it is very cool nonetheless. And powerful, it destroys the railing like it's nothing. And finally, I have a few more facts, courtesy of the official website. I've seen some people say they were worried 4-player split screen wouldn't return, but the website outright mentions you can play with 4 people on one Switch 2, so unless they're planning on doing it another way than split screen, I wouldn't worry too much. Another thing mentioned here is the availability of a Switch 2 wheel, which can be used in case you want to maintain that playing with tilt controls legacy. And last but not least, this is the first console Mario Kart game to feature Korean as an optional language. Not sure for how many of you that is interesting, but here you go, now you know. And that has been all I could find in the trailer for Mario Kart World. Did I miss anything? And are you hyped for the game, or did the price reveal get you down? Share it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all my future Mario content coming up. For now, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.